Hey bees, I'm Marie from Humblebee and Me, and today's formulation is a decadent oat cardamom chai emulsified body butter. This rich and creamy formulation was inspired by Brambleberry's new cafe collection, which they very generously gifted me, so thank you very much, Brambleberry. The 4 fragrances that are part of this collection are so mouth-watering. They are all kind of cafe inspired, and the one that just really stole my heart right out of the gate was the sweet cardamom chai. I adore the scent of chai masala and feel like cardamom often doesn't get the appreciation that it deserves. So in this fragrance oil, it really, it's right up front and center, bright and sweet and spicy. The key scents that you'll associate with chai, cinnamon and cloves and ginger, as lovely as they are, and they do have essential oils, those essential oils can be really quite irritating to the skin. So their maximum usage levels are really low. So if you want those spicy scents in your skincare products, it is often less irritating to choose a fragrance option, which is another reason to love this fragrance oil. If you don't have it, you can definitely use something else. I just recommend choosing something that smells really yummy and kind of cafe inspired. That fragrance is the cardamom chai part of the formulation, while the oat part of the formulation comes from the inclusion of 2% soothing and moisturizing colloidal oatmeal. Some other goodies in this formulation include coffee extract, also from Brambleberry's cafe collection, rich creamy shea butter, and lightweight lovely sweet almond oil. Our emulsifier for this emulsified body butter is Glyceryl stearate and PEG 100 stearate, and if you've watched any of my other emulsified body butter videos, you will know that this emulsifier is absolutely essential for this product. It's a sort of naked emulsifier, so it allows us to make a product that has lots of oils and gorgeous thickeners and butters and whatnot in it, but without kind of getting in the way. So it just hangs out in the back, sings harmonies, makes sure that everything comes together, but it doesn't kind of bring any waxiness or anything, which can be a challenge when you make a emulsion with a large oil phase with an emulsifier like Polax. So it's just there singing harmonies, making everything ultra beautiful. I highly recommend getting this emulsifier. It is brilliant, and there is more information on it in the Humblebee and Me encyclopedia to help you fall in love with it. Okie dokie, let's go get our chai goodness on. We'll begin by combining the ingredients for a heated water phase. So in this beaker, I already have 54.9 grams of distilled water, and to that I'm going to add 10 grams vegetable glycerin. Up next, we'll combine the ingredients for our heated oil phase. You'll need 3 grams of Glyceryl stearate and PEG 100 stearate. This is our emulsifier, and it has to be this emulsifier. It's quite special. To learn more about it, please look it up in the Humblebee and Me encyclopedia. 15 grams sweet almond oil, and this is a very easy ingredient to substitute out if you don't have it or if you have a nut allergy, so make sure you're reading the blog post for that. 4 grams shea butter, 6 grams cetearyl alcohol, and 2 grams colloidal oatmeal. So I'm sometimes asked why I put colloidal oatmeal in the oil phase, because it is water soluble. I like it in the oil phase because in the water phase it kind of heats into a gloppy porridge. So I find that putting it in the oil phase is just a little bit neater. Up next, we are going to weigh the water phase and note that weight so we can replace any water lost to evaporation during heating. To heat everything through, we are going to use a water bath. So this is a wide flat bottom saute pan that has about 1 inch or 3 centimeters of water in the bottom of it. So I'll just pop both of our phases in here, and then I'm gonna go put this on the stove top over medium-low heat to heat everything through and bring both phases to the same temperature. And do remember that in this beaker with the oil phase, the colloidal oatmeal is not going to melt. So you will see kind of a powdery floor of colloidal oatmeal with everything else that has melted. Once everything has heated through, you can remove your water bath from the heat and remove your beakers from the water bath. Our first step is replacing any water lost to evaporation. So I will pop the beaker with our water phase back on the scale and use a bit of preheated distilled water to bring that number we wrote down earlier, bring the number on the scale back up to the number we wrote down earlier. Give that a bit of a stir, and into the oil phase it goes. And up next, we're going to grab our immersion blender and start blending. So after 2 minutes of blending, you'll notice that it's already gaining some viscosity. And this is where we're going to stop blending this one. I'm experimenting with blending my emulsions less. I usually really like to blend them up and make sure that they've had plenty of blending, but I'm starting to experiment with, well, what is plenty? And in my experiments with this so far, about 2 minutes of blending is plenty. So I'm gonna stop there and give this a stir. And you can see that this is already starting to thicken up a bit, which is lovely. So what I'm going to do now, I'm gonna stop recording, but every couple minutes, I'm just gonna come back and give this a little bit of a stir and check on it. And then once it has cooled down to room temperature, we are going to incorporate our cool down phase. So I'll leave that to continue to cool, disconnect our blender, and go pop this in the dishwasher. Once the emulsion has cooled to room temperature, you can see it has this gorgeous, thick, glossy consistency. So our next step is our cool down phase, weighing it out and incorporating it. Our cool down phase features 4 ingredients. So you're going to need 4 grams of coffee extract. This is from Brambleberry and this was a gift. You'll need 0.3 grams of sweet cardamom chai fragrance oil. This was also a gift from Brambleberry. 0.5 grams liquid Germall plus. This is our preservative. This was a gift from Yellowbee. If you would like to potentially use a different preservative, I've got an entire FAQ on using different preservatives and formulations than the ones that I've used, so please make sure you're heading over to humblebeeandme.com/FAQ and giving that a read. And lastly, 0.3 grams vitamin E. You can look this ingredient up in the Humblebee and Me encyclopedia to learn more about it. It is listed under tocopherol and then in parentheses vitamin E. To incorporate the cool down phase, I'm going to begin by putting a dollop of the emulsified body butter into the little dish with our cool down phase. And then I'm going to whisk to combine. I like to begin by sort of cutting the liquid in, because if you start whisking straight away, you can really slosh some of the thinner liquid out. So kind of find doing a bit of this with the whisk helps it start to incorporate a bit before you start stirring more vigorously. Once the cool down phase has been thoroughly incorporated, you can scrape the contents of your little dish back into the parent batch and then stir to combine. And with that done, all that's left is packaging. For packaging, I'm going to use this flat, sort of shallow 100 milliliter screw top jar from Yellowbee. This was a gift. So I'll take the lid off, take out the little insert, and in she goes. For a bit of an application demo, we can use some of our lovely product left over on the spatula. This glides really nicely across the skin, and I find that, it sinks in reasonably quickly. Obviously, this is quite a rich product by design, but it is a lot lighter than a non-emulsified body butter. It also smells absolutely divine. And there we are. So we just made a rich and indulgent oat cardamom chai emulsified body butter. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and please make sure you are reading the full partner blog post linked in the description box below this video for a lot more details, including information on substitutions, scaling, shelf life, links to places to buy all the ingredients, and a whole lot more. And a big thank you to Brambleberry for sending me their beautiful new cafe collection to formulate with. You'll find a link to that collection in the description box below this video. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.